I didn't grow up playing Final Fantasy as a kid. Well, not conventionally at least.
Then that'll have to be the one I take care of.
What? You're fighting too?
It's not like it didn't interest me. It was just a language limitation. Try to explain to my 7-year-old self the difference between this party and this other party. With an English as basic as knowing that apples are red. And even with all this in consideration, the concept of being a hero was always so present in my mind. My childhood heroes were not really model figures, but destroying the evil being with the power of friendship and potentially saving the princess was present in all of them, funny enough. I mention all this to give a context on why whenever I play games that allows me to make my own story, I just tend to be the hero. It's classic. It's even too traditional that for some people might even be boring. But that's why, in all my years of gaming, I haven't found anywhere else that depict this lifestyle other than in a fantasy life.
He said it! He said it!
It's not the first time that I play Fantasy Life. The very first time that I played this... Wait, is this a franchise? If it only has 2 games? I played the number 1 game back when I was playing Final Fantasy IX, recovering from the stone I had in my kidney. And to be honest, I just preferred to be playing someone else's story at that point. So while I could appreciate the fun I could have in the first Fantasy Life, and how the Nintendo 3DS is one of my favorite consoles ever, it was just not the right time for it. But I keep remembering it after I beat Final Fantasy IX. The problem was, the new expansion of Final Fantasy XIV came out, so my attention was focused on that more. And the time passed, and I kept thinking about Fantasy Life, but I didn't feel like playing it somehow. But then, out of nowhere, after being part of more questionable game communities, it just popped out on my Steam page that a new Fantasy Life came out. Fantasy Life I, the girl who steals time. And was one of those moments I just said to myself, why not, right? So the answer to that question, derivating having more than 6 hours of clips of gameplay recorded between days, I'm doing this video this week. Saying that I have fun with this game is an understatement. It reminds me a lot of games that I could point out, while also having RPG touches here and there. But I believe the one that reminds me the most, it has to be Ever Oasis. If you never played this one, in which, assuming there is not an official sales record congratulating about it, you probably didn't. It's a mix between classic Zelda games and Animal Crossing. I never really played much old school RuneScape, but I bet playing this game gives you the same dopamine grind that OSRS gives to those people. The characters are silly, sometimes in a funny way, sometimes they are just cringe. They ask you for silly and wholesome stuff, or to do their job entirely. You have a lot of jobs to choose from, you can even choose them all. They shame on you if you don't have one. Some people find this infuriating.
Asking for a refund since it's reproducing a harmful stereotype and ideology that people who don't work aren't worth anything, and implicitly with not more than an imp. It's might as well be unalive. I'm a sociologist, trust me. There are many games where you have different professions, but they don't reproduce this idea.
I just call it Japan. All the NPCs are around there, usually to wait you to talk to them. There are a few exceptions that just spawn in another place depending on what time is it, and every time you kill an enemy, it's likely that it will spawn again after you go back to that level. Your partners will help you whenever you are doing a task from a job they have not learned. They will help you if you are doing something that they know how to do, and they will leave a like and a subscription to this channel, just like you should do. There is a furry that sings like 5 hounds without woof. There is a furry that sings like 5 hounds without food for weeks. This guy, ironically enough, it's called Chopin, and loves her singing.
Stop it. Get some help.
The ships are neutral. For some reason the black ones are evil. There is a dog passing by, but you cannot pet it. The things I described so far, they don't really depict how good or bad a game is. I just want to talk about the game that I enjoy a lot. Fantasy Life I lets me be the hero I love being. Typical paladin with sword and shield. And the story I formed through, it's attached to some of those shows, I pick it up. The side quests I choose to take and elaborate. It has content for hundreds of hours if you do it all. And I will eventually try new stuff in the game every now and then. But I'm also content in just to try to not do everything. If that means I can keep playing the story I form in my head. It's not that the story is bad by any means. It's not something I'm ignoring when I'm playing this. In fact, the reason why I got to see new zones is because I continue this story. Just that the game allows me to make a new one as well. Sometimes games just have a good amount of content, but a huge scope and possibilities, and others that simply lack of both. Fantasy Life I is one of those that seems to have a good amount of content per se, but the content that it offers will give you a lot to work around. I could be here for more time, rambling around how the main story is, or what mechanics have, or if they are well explained or not. But this is not really a review. There are a lot of reviews on YouTube around about this game, and lots of even more guides for stuff that you don't understand about it. Usually in content creation, you are always constantly thinking what the person that is gonna watch this video can gain out of it. Useful information or entertainment for the algorithm. And I tend to have an idea on how long a video I do it's gonna be usually. But not with this one, to be honest. This is oversharing a bit, but I don't think I care with this video about any of those stuff. I just wanted to share my fantasy life. If you like this video, consider leaving a like and a subscription, it will help me a lot. Hope you all did, and I will see you all in the next one.